Hi, welcome to the second part of this Bustier pattern. So the first thing I want to do, I'm bringing the yoke. I told you that we'll use net to turn the yoke. So you are just going to sew that V. Make sure you sew it by half an inch. So after you are done, you are going to open it up and top stitch on the net part, the nude net. So I've done the same for the other side. Now let's keep it aside. So I want to add crinoline in my flare now. So all I have to do, I first of all use small ankara to wrap the edge of the crinoline so that it will not be itching the skin of the customer. So just use ankara to wrap the edge. So I'm going to fold my ankara and just stitch it on top of it. Just calm down and see what I'm doing. You will get it. That is if you don't know how to do, and if you know how to do that, you can just move forward. After I'm done, I'm just going to fold it. So you see that I've covered it, so there's no pointy edge in this crinoline. It's very easy to do, and it's better you do it so that your customer will not be uncomfortable. So now when I'm done, I'm using 1 inch crinoline, so I'm going to use hemming gum also. So I'm going to place the right side of the ankara for the flare, place the lining on top and place the crinoline on top. Please note that I'm giving space of at least an inch before I'll place the crinoline so that it will not be bulky when I turn it. I will now place my hemming gum on top of it and just sew it by half an inch. So you sew it round by half an inch. It's very good for you to have a hemming gum. So when I'm done, the edge of the other side, I'm going to cover it with ankara, just the way I did for the front part, so that it will not itch your customer's skin like I said earlier. So I'm just going to do that. After doing that now, this is how it's going to look. So after doing that, you are going to make sure the excess half inch you sew, you are going to make sure it's facing the lining. You are not going to top stitch on top of the lining. If you do it this way, your flare will relax very well by the time you iron it. So you top stitch this round. This is basically how to add crinoline to your flare. When you are done, you can now close these two sides together, turn it in and iron it. Do you understand? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show you. Please, as you are doing it, make sure you are checking it to make sure the excess half inch is facing the lining part. That is how your crinoline will relax. So I trust that you know how to close the edge. Now let's do the top part. So I'm going to iron hairstay on both the back pattern and the front pattern. So I'm going to take one part of the back pattern now. I placed my lining on top of the fabric and I'll just sew half an inch round on the neckline. If you are conversant with sewing, you can just forward this part, but I just feel a lot of people learn basics from YouTube, so I try to just film the whole process. So I'm just going to sew it by half an inch. After I'm done now, I will notch it. It's better you notch it so your neck will relax. When you notch it, make sure the half an inch is facing the lining part just the way you did for the peplum, and you sew it, you top stitch on it. So you're now going to close both sides together, and this side is looking. So you take it to the ironing board now, iron it very well so that everything will lay flat. Now let's go to the front pattern. So these are front pattern, iron the stay. So now let's cut wording. So on your wording from the bustier pattern, come down by 1 inch because your wording does not need to get to the neckline. So you cut it out. Do you understand? Your wording will start from that 1 inch point. Then your wording, it must end at that under bust. If it exceeds the under bust, if it's longer than the under bust, it will spoil your bustier. So from that midpoint, I want my wording to be wide by 3 inches. This actually depends on how busty the person is. Just make sure it covers the bust round. So I'm going to connect it. You see how I'm doing it? It's not straight, it's curved. Can you see? So that it will pack the boobs very well. So I'm I'm cutting out from the under bust point. Please don't allow your bustier, your wording exceed that. So I'm just going to use my scissors now to cut the pattern. So I'm cutting out the wording. So when you are cutting the sides, make sure you label it because it's very difficult. By the time you curve it, you might make mistakes. So immediately you finish cutting, make sure you label it that this is the nipple point. That's what I'm doing. That's the up and that's the down. So it will be easier for you. So now on the that one, so you cut it out. So your bustier is still wording is starting from the under bust. It is very important. I'm still going to remove that 1 inch from the center. So I'm just go when you are cutting, make sure you add half inch, just the way you did for the fabric. When you are cutting it, add half inch, then you just cut it out. So your wadding is shorter by the full distance by 1 inch. So I'll keep it aside now. You can label it if you want, but this middle part is very easy for you to understand. But you can label it as down, so you will not turn down to up and up to down. So you keep it aside. So I'm going ahead to also cut out the sides. Hmm? I'm going ahead to also cut out the side. So there's no allowance on the side. You only add allowance on the nipple point side. That's why I say you should label it. If you don't label it, you make mistake. But you can see that they are looking curvy on both sides now. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So you're going to cut two patterns. So on the nipple side, you see I'm adding half inch, so it will rhyme very well. Good. So take your marker or your pencil, make sure you label it. So I'm labeling my up. I labeled both sides. I also labeled the nipple point, so it will be easy for me to so I won't make mistake by the time I'm making it on the this thing. So make sure you label it very well. It makes it easier for you to so you'll not make mistake. So after labeling it, I'll label down, up, the midpoint. I label it on both sides. Please know the way I'm doing it. So now we are good to go. So you're now going to take your lining. You're ironing everything on the lining, not the fabric itself. So I'm just going to iron it. If you label it very well, to be easy, just make sure you start from the underbust. Don't let it exceed the underbust. So you're going to iron it. Then you are going to iron it on both sides of the lining. So can you see how it looks? So this is how it looks. So by the time you label it very well to make your work easier. So iron it now and let's go and join it on the machine. So I'm just going to sew it half an inch. I'm joining the fabric itself first by half an inch. Just watch what I'm doing. Because you can see there's no wadding in the main fabric and it's already curved. So you're going to join the lining together half an inch. Join it together by half an inch. If you do it very well, everything will align. So can you see how it's curvy already? Let me really spread it so you will see it. You see how it's curvy and the woman is not that busty. So you are going to go to your ironing table, open it up, make sure you use your tailor's ham or any curved surface and iron it open. Make sure you are placing it on a curved surface. Iron it. So now let's go to the back. You know earlier I notched it when I was drafting, so I'm just re-notching it so that I just want the notch. So now you're going to measure from your shoulder 8.5 inches and sew in your dart for the back. So after we are done now, we're now going to bring our yoke. Look at where I'm starting the yoke from. So you are going to pin, you are going to take your office pin, place your yoke, make sure it's starting from the armhole area and pin your yoke on the main fabric. Can you see it? So after doing that, you're now going to bring your lining. You see that I've ironed it open. You would have notched the midpoint, then you pin it across. Make sure you pin it very well. Just calm down, don't rush, make sure it aligns and pin it. After you are done pinning it now, you're now going to start sewing it. So I'm just going to sew it from one end to the other. I'm using half an inch. Please don't exceed half an inch because when you were drafting it was half an inch you kept. So I'm just going to sew it straight up. At this point, if you're not subscribed, kindly do that. Thank you. And see how it's looking already. But meanwhile, this is how it's looking. So you're going to open it and just top stitch on it. Make sure you notch it before you now top stitch on it, just the way we did for the other side, the back neck. You are now going to close it up and sew both sides together. Just sew both sides together by half an inch, and you go to your ironing board and give it a good press. Make sure you iron it very well. So when we've ironed it now, this is how it's looking. Can you see how the inside looks copy? I say copy. So you're going to open your shoulder now. See, just not the way I'm opening my shoulder. That's how you're going to sew it so that the shoulder area will be neat. After doing that, you're going to mark your zipper allowance. You know it was 1.5 we left earlier and we use half inch to turn in the line. So I'm just going to mark out 1 inch. After you have done that, so from that mark now, you will now measure your important point. So you are going to measure your back bust, your under bust, and your waist. Whatever I do for this side of the back, you do for the other side. Then for the front too. So note when you are doing the front, make sure you use your front bust measurement. If you do it the way I'm doing it now, you will not have any issues. Like when the customer wears the clothes to come out perfectly. So that's what I'm doing now. Do you understand? And when I'm taking the underbust for the back, you know, I moved my tape by 2 inches because the distance between my front and the back is 2 inches. Don't forget. So you work with your own measurement. So you just mark it. That's what I'm doing now. And I'll also mark my waist measurement. So whatever I do for this one now, I'll do for the other side, and I'll also do for the front. So when we are done now, when we've already marked it now, this is how everything will be looking now. So I've pinned the front and the back together after I've marked it. Pinned it together, so I'll just close it up. And our blouse is taking shape, so you just close it up. So now it's time for us to add our peplum. You can see the way the cologne is making the peplum stand. So you just add it. Make sure you weave it first, then you add your zipper. So after adding my zipper, I folded my fabric like this for the arm. I don't have any particular measurement I'm using for the hand, but it's just excess. So I'll mark the width of the hand. I'll add extra 6 inches because there's elastic, so that it will form this excess. So the more fabric you have, the more fuller your sleeve will be. Just make sure you measure the length of the fabric and you are good to go. So you are going to use free hand to do it. The elastic will make it half shape. So when we are done now, we just cut it out. So when I cut it out, I'm going to measure the width of the person's hand and minus like 2 inches and use it to cut an elastic. Before then, I would have folded the edge so it will be neat. I'll now measure 1 inch, and is that 1 inch, I'll place the elastic on it. As you are sewing it, make sure you are dragging it. So you are sewing the elastic, you'll be dragging it so that the tiny elastic will be enough for the whole width of the cloth. So make sure you are dragging it as you are sewing it. After you are done with that, just hold it together by half an inch, then attach the sleeve to the body of your fabric. I hope you understand the body of your blouse. You see the way I'm sewing it, I'm pulling it. That's how you will get it. See the way as I'm sewing it, you'll be pulling it. So now that I've added it, this is how our blouse is looking. So if you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. Take care of yourself. Bye.